Righto, ready for the kickoff. How do you see it, Righty?
Well, Bill, I think Illawarra will try and redeem themselves. They've had a shocking year, not a win so far this season. An opportunity to really bring down the tall poppies of the Broncos. An incentive too that they've got the two Englishmen coming out next Tuesday, Andy Gregory and Steve Hampson. They play a Panasonic Cup match on Wednesday night against North Sydney. So they'll be out to play well today. Each player will want to hold his spot for the Panasonic. They won't want to be the ones who get the flick for Gregory and Hampson. So there's plenty of incentive for them to play well. Pressure early, but it's hard not to see the Broncos coming over the top as the match progresses.
Dummy half is Miles to Dowling. The big fella gets it away to Alan Langer. Langer stepping inside, over for the try. Try number one coming up here at Lang Park after only 3.5 minutes of play.
All too easy for the Broncos. Alan Langer finished off nicely. It's ironical really there. He's copped a bit of a hit in the face there for his trouble as he tried to step back on the inside, Alan Langer. To be hoped that he's okay. The first play went a little bit amiss here. It was an attempted switch in at the dummy half position. This is the second ruck then. Dowling, beautiful front row work that. Have a look at Langer. Cops that high tackle undoubtedly from Tony Smith as he went across the try line. And Alan Langer copped one right across the face. Dowling, good, strong front row play. What a shame he's not available for Queensland State of Origin. Alan Langer does well to finish it off.
Well, I agree with you, David, about him being unavailable. He's been in superb form at 89. Alan Langer comes in with his third try of the year, and it's a great start, just the start the Broncos needed.
Madison lining up with a shot at goal. Moves in, it's on its way. It is there, and the Broncos have a good early lead of 6 points to 0. Back ready to start play again, and this is Rod Wishart to kick the ball off. A big long kick deep down into Broncos territory. But it's going to be run out this time by Shane Duffy.
Well, two confident plays by Shane Duffy. You may recall he made his debut against Illawarra last year and was stood up pointlessly by Brian Hetherington with that big dummy. It wasn't a very clever debut by Duffy, but hasn't he come back strongly since then?
I notice he's wearing the same togs that he had on last weekend too. We've got a glimpse of those already.
Bad penalty, this one coming to Illawarra. In possession, the Broncos. Joe Kilroy walking off the mark.
Playing on the wing today. Round the corner. Should be able to register the first points for the Steelers here. It's on its way. It's there. So the Broncos' lead is narrowed a little bit. It's 6 points to 2 here. 10 metres short of halfway now. Working it around, coming through is Cavill Hugh. Hugh up the blind side, got his pass outside to Wishart. Wishart turns it away. Coming up there is Smith. Smith out of one tackle, now sends it back inside, and it is into touch back there on the quarter line.
Carberry very slow to get off Wally Lewis for Langer. That's not a good kick, but it's 6 more to the Brisbane Broncos. So the pressure will be applied. They're calling for the quick ball on the left. Langer spotted it, got the pass away. Here's a chance, and Chris Johns goes in for another try. That's his 5th of the year. It's been a great battle with Curry and Johns in 89. They've now scored 5 apiece, and a tremendous bit of finishing by Chris Johns.
Chris Johns emphasising the fact that he's one of the frontline contenders for New South Wales State of Origin this season. Alan Langer just fires the ball up to him, and then Johns the step off the left foot, straighten up, acceleration, cover defence can't get there, and Chris Johns across for the Broncos' second try. Alan Langer just presents it to him. Wrong puts the defence, as David Fordham said in the call. The opportunities were here on the left. The Illawarra defence going left. John straightens it up nicely.
There he is, steps back inside, leaves Ian Russell grasping for fresh air and dives over for the try. And Broncos open up a lead of 10 to 2.
He's kicked it. So it's 12 points to 2 at Lang Park. Terry Madison, 2 goals from 2 attempts. Takes play right to the quarter line. Carberry is the man at dummy half. Kissel, Lyle, that's a bad pass. Put pressure on Wishart, Liebling. Here's the try to the Broncos. There goes Hancock for the corner. They won't catch him. 3rd try for 89 for Michael Hancock. Well, it was always going to be on. Once the ball went loose, they won't stop a player of that pace. The cover just couldn't get there.
Illawarra aimless inside their own territory. Really, this pass was meant for no one. Wishart was still first to the ball. He knocked it forward, Niebling onto it straight away, realising the opportunities on the outside. This fellow puts the accelerator down. It's shut the gate, untouched, in the corner. No chance for cover defence getting there. There's Wishart knocking it on. The ball goes clear. Niebling, all he had to do was feed on. In open spaces, Michael Hancock, and this guy is just too quick for him.
Secret of the whole story here was that quick pass by Niebling. He realised, bang, straight outside, didn't mess around, didn't try to do anything fancy. He knew the pace was out wide, and that's where Michael Hancock put the foot on the throttle, and away he went for another try.
Last year he scored 150 odd points. There's the kick. This one won't be successful. It falls short and to the right. So it's 16 points to 2. Tries in the 4th, the 14th and the 17th minute by the Brisbane Broncos.
So at this stage, we're halfway through the first half. The Broncos have that comfortable lead of 16 points to 2. This is Madison, knocked down over there this time by Kissel. Kissel racing up over the quarter line. Lewis is chasing him. Lewis dives at him, but he'll have enough momentum to get over for the try. And he's in, and that makes it 16 points to 6.
Well, Kissel did well there to finally score the try. Wayne Bennett will be disappointed with a mistake there from the Broncos. Terry Madison it was who tried to put Tony Curry away on the outside. Kissel got in between, and then it was a dash. Wally Lewis showed surprising pace. And there's Lewis at the start of that ruck. Here's Madison. The ball knocked up by Kissel. He regains it. Lewis has done well to make some ground on Kissel, realising the problem was on. Just gets to him, only a couple of metres too late. Kissel gets across for a sliding try. Illawarra's first. Here's the tackle by Lewis, just there at the last minute. The diving tackle caught him on the inside the field of play. Momentum takes him across. Lewis throws the long pass to start it.
Well, this is the sort of mistakes that Wayne Bennett would not be happy with. They've built up a commanding lead, but full marks to Kissel. He showed a clean pair of heels. Great determination by the skipper, Wally Lewis, in cover defence, but they come up with their first try.
And that try has been converted, so the Broncos have a lead of 16 points to 8. Good passage of play by the Broncos. Lewis keeps it going. Langer outside to Madison. He's wrapped over the tackle this time by Les Morrissey. Final tackle. Langer goes himself now to Dowling. Dowling over the top inside to Chris Johns. Floats it back inside. Eventually ends up in Niebling's hands, and he'll go in for the try.
Well, on the sixth tackle, you've got a licence to do whatever you like, and that's what the Broncos did there. There's the two front rowers running like backs they are. They're firing the ball over the top. It was Dowling's good pass after he got the pass out of the dummy half. Look at this, back over the shoulder to Chris Johns. It was sixth tackle, so he can do anything there. Pops it up, good work from Brett Balmain. Jumped to take the ball, dropped it back down to the horse, and he juggled for a moment. The line was wide open, he only had to take it across. Look at Dowling's good inside pass there. Johns knew it was on. Everyone knew it was the sixth tackle. So important communication there. Quick pass down from Brett Balmain, up to Niebling, and he goes across untouched.
Well, the benefits of running the ball on the final tackle. All these players contributed. Great pass to Johns. Now, watch the clever work here by Balmain. And Brian Niebling, well, he scored a try here against Newcastle when he came on as a replacement.
So, taking plenty of time. Back onto the mark. Here's the kick. No doubt about that one. Broncos lead at Lang Park is 22 points to 8. Nothing between possession and scrums, 2-2 at this stage. Kissel, the try scorer, dummies. He's over the quarter line outside to Russell. Pushes away the tackle coming in from behind of Curry. Kilroy's coming across. Madison's there in cover, but Kilroy with the tackle.
Terry Madison too slow out of the scrum. It's play on.
Cutting back inside is Wishart. He in turn gets it to Morrissey. Morrissey over the quarter line. It's left to Duffy, but I don't think he's going to get him. He sends it outside, and in for the try is Jeff Hardy.
Great try, Illawarra. Length of the field stuff. They pack the scrum. Wayne Bennett's going to send a message down straight away to get things tightened up. Terry Madison very, very slow out of the scrum. That's where the break was made by Kissel. He got to the, there it is there. Madison too slow out of the scrum. Fired the pass up to Russell, and Russell does well to shed one of the tackles. Madison was the one who had to work hard there. Kilroy got to him. The ball there, he wasn't held, Russell. Quite entitled to fire the ball up. It was touched in flight. Out through Smith, back inside Wishart. Wishart pops it up to Morrissey, and this guy can play. Ex-Queenslander as well is Les Morrissey. Played for Canberra the last couple of seasons. Fires the ball up at the last minute to Hardy. That's a good Illawarra try, as good as they've scored this year. Here's the last part of it here now. Back on the inside, Wishart. Up to Morrissey, a couple of dummies. He knew exactly what he was doing. Cover defence here from Duffy at the last minute. He's too late. Too many players for Illawarra, and they come across for a fine length of the field try.
Wishart around the corner. It's on its way. It is there. So that makes it 22 points to 14.
But the idea was right.
There's the big push. Oh, one against the feed. Tremendous play by the Brisbane Six. Here's the pass for Johns. This will be another try. Well, yes, it will. Johns in for his second try, and that was against the feed. Tremendous support. Look at Ron Hill. He's shaking the head. It's just when Illawarra didn't want the try to be scored against them.
Well, Kieran Welders might have won the strike, but it was the scrum who really did the good push. Good effort from the Broncos. Quick hands across the back line. Illawarra caught unawares. There's the tackle broken by Johns of Hardy, and he goes across to score the try. Have a look at this. Quick hands out of the the scrum base. There's the centres doing their job. We're just talking about how well that back line's moving. There's a clear indication of it. Johns will not say die. Determination to get across the try line. The Broncos hit up. There's a good push from the scrum.
And there's Langer's pass outside. They keep it going rather quickly. And that's all they had to do, let the ball do the work. Johns could have got it away to Hancock. He thought about it, but he'd broken away from the tackle and eventually in for the try.
There's the kick. It's not on target. It's waved away. 26 points to 14. That's the score here at Lang Park. And we've got about 3 minutes of play remaining in this first half. Carberry. Skipper Lighty is the man at dummy half in number 9. Through the dummy. Tried to get around Walters. Got the pass back. That's clever play by the Illawarra side. Here's a chance now. The kick by Lada. The kick and chase. Back goes Balmain. Oh, Lada took it beautifully. And that's a great try. Steve Lada. Tremendous try by the replacement. He scored an earlier try this year against South Sydney, but he's come up with a gem.
This Dean Skifalides, what a good little player he is, out of the dummy half position. Look at the good work he does here to make sure he stands in the tackle, shows good footwork to get the hands free, made sure he had enough room to move. Lada had the ball up, the little dummy took Kilroy out, Gene Miles misses the tackle. Good work this from Steve Lada, fresh reserve, only on recently, gets a fair bounce. He had to chase it to get it, scooped it up in one hand. That's the third try for Illawarra, and each of them has had a little bit of, luck a bit. I guess that one couldn't be called lucky, although the kick and chase was involved in it. And all of a sudden, Illawarra are the side now with plenty of incentive to go on with this match. Yeah, it's a good kick from Lada off the outside of the foot. The ball bounces up, he scoops it in with the right hand and puts it down right under the sticks.
So now the attempt at conversion by Wishart. And that one's there, so that makes it a little bit closer. 26 points to 20.
And Wishart has now kicked 4 from 4. An impeccable goal-kicking display by the right winger for Illawarra. But the Broncos really on the move. It goes for Dowling. Pass, yes, try!
Now he's called it forward. Now this will be an interesting one.
It touched an Illawarra player in flight, David.
It really bounced high off an Illawarra player. And let's see if Dowling's pass actually went forward initially. Was the ball going forward? No, it didn't look like it. The ball came off Moon. The referee decided that was off the boot, not a knock on the fifth tackle now.
Langer swings it across to Madison. Brett Balmain.
Fifth tackle.
Swings it back to Walters. Back behind him. Coming through to pick it up is Russell.
Pressure on the left here.
Yes, and away it goes to Rodwell. Rodwell swings it away to Moon. Moon is in for the try. Yes, he is.
Good, strong try by Jason Moon. The Illawarra side have done it well. They've hit back. The Broncos couldn't kick out of their own in-goal, out of their own territory. On that fifth tackle, we saw Brett Balmain fire the ball back on the inside. Russell picked it up. Good work, Illawarra, this, because they attacked the side where the Broncos were weakest. That's Rodwell, sets up the pass. Looked like Kilroy had him there, but didn't grab at him, only shoulder charged him, and Moon bounced away and forced his way then across the try line. Rodwell's elated. Here he is, Rodwell, uses a bit of pace, holds the ball up nicely, tries to give Moon every opportunity. Kilroy can't hold him, neither can Brett Balmain, and Moon gets across. What an important kick for goal.
Wally Lewis having a bit to say to referee Bill Harrigan. There's Moon. Back inside and in for that try. Crowd starting to boo. I don't know whether that's quite the done thing. This looks all right, but it's just away to the right-hand side of the uprights. So the score is Broncos 26, Illawarra 24.
Now a quick movement of the ball is required by the Broncos. It's taken up by Dowling. He's just short of the line. The quick play the ball again. Lang is in for his second try. And that's the one that will win the game for the Broncos. Right under the black dot. And the crowd at Lang Park love it.
Well, Gary French made that initial break, couple of tackles before that. Dowling thought he might be able to get there himself. I think it was Russell once again who pulled off a miraculous tackle on Greg Dowling. And then the quick play the ball. Alan Langer there, no one in front of him. He gets across, puts it down. There were some complaints from the Illawarra players that he didn't ground the ball. He had the post in the road. Look, that's a great tackle, that one. And once again, Russell to bring Dowling down. Quick play the ball was required. Is exactly what he got. Quick ball up from Walters. Has Langer placed the ball? Looked okay to me. Downward pressure. Harrigan right on the spot. Saw it clearly.
So let's have a look at from the end on. You can see Langer in for the try, no doubt about that one. And well, that has certainly wrapped up the ball game.
And probably hasn't scored a more valuable one than that one in 1989. And a bit of concern with Wally Lewis. We'll come back to that again in a moment with Tony Durkin. As Terry Madison moves in, he puts the extra points on the board. and that kicks the Broncos clear, 32 points to 24. But the Broncos came up with a try that really counted. Langer, should be 6 more. It is, loose on the ground. Good desperation stuff by Curry.
Kissel nearly got his second intercept.
But it's all over. The Brisbane Broncos remain on top of the Winfield Cup with a 32 to 24 victory over Illawarra, scoring 6 tries to 4. They led by 26 points to 14. They've come up trumps, but gee, they had to work hard for it. A gutsy performance by Illawarra, but a vital win to the Broncos. Final score, Brisbane 32, Illawarra 24.